Hello farmers, so we are at the farm again today, and this is my beans that I planted, and today we are spraying pesticides on the farm because I noticed that some of the beans you see insects eating them up, like this one for example. You can see how insects are eating up the leaves. So to prevent this from happening, I decided to come and spray pesticide. Let me show you the pesticide we are using. Open up this drink. So this is the pesticide we're using. Best. It's called Best. Cypermethrin, 10% EC. So this is what we're using to spray the farm today. And these beans is exactly 3 weeks, 3 days today. And you can see how they're looking. 3 weeks, 3 days. So we're yet to spray the post-emergence herbicide. Usually the post-emergence herbicide is being sprayed after 21 days, and that's exactly 3 weeks. But then we're here to spray it. So by God's grace, next week when they are at 4 weeks, we will most likely spray the whole field. So on this particular farm, these beans we have here, right? Then on the next farm, which is this side, we have soybeans. And this soybeans is sitting on about, this should be over, let's say, half of a hectare. So you can see this is the soybeans. This is soybeans. They were both planted on the same day. This is soybeans, while this is beans. I see the difference. This is beans, this is soybeans. This is beans. On this part we have the beans. This, if you notice, you see that the spacing on this side of the beans is much more than the spacing of the soybeans. This is the soybeans. You can see how the spacing of the soybeans is. Right? You can see how the spacing for the soybeans is. But then the beans, you can see how the spacing is. And that's because beans usually spread. It's not just, it doesn't just grow straight up like that. It will spread around. Whereas soybeans, it just grows up straight. So that's why you see that the spacing on the beans is much more than that of the soybeans. So if you notice again, you see that the soybeans, it's not, the leaves of the soybeans is still intact. Insects have not yet tampered with it that much, and that's why we're not bothering to spray the pesticide on the soybeans, whereas we are spraying on the beans. So let's see how it goes. Next week, by 4 weeks, we will try and spray the post-emergence herbicide. But again, if you notice something, you'll see that the land is very, very clear. The weeds on the land is very, very minimal. You can see the weeds are not much. We have a pretty much clean farmland. You get, unlike other farmlands where you see a lot of weeds, and that's because we did the herbicides. We sprayed them as it's supposed to be. We first of all sprayed glyphosate for land clearing. After that, we made ridges on the land, and then we now planted. Immediately after planting, like a day after planting, we now sprayed butterfrost in combination with glyphosate again. And that's because if you combine, well, so far so good, as much as the locals have told me, even though I've seen it for myself and I see that it gives results. If you combine when you want to spray the pre-emergence herbicide, if you combine the pre-emergence with the land clearing non-selective post-emergence, so that's glyphosate, it will clear the land more properly. You will have a very clean land. So that's why you see that we don't have a lot of weeds, especially in don't have a lot of weeds in the beans. So we'll see how it goes. I'll give you guys an update, show you guys how it's going, and in the next one. Cheers, guys. Let me just show you the land before I go, how long this land is. So this is the soybeans land. As you can see, it's very it goes all the way down there. I'm sure the length is at least, it should be more than 100 meters. I've not measured the land to give you guys like a specific measurement and say this is a hectare or 2 hectares, but I'm sure the length of the land is more than 100 meters. The width may not be up to 100 meters, but the length is definitely more than 100 meters, and that's why I say it's at least half of a hectare. So cheers, guys, and see you guys in the next one.